guys, Barry Aquatics here, coming at you with a long-awaited update on the 40-gallon breeder. Today we're going to be looking at my sump. As you can see here, I purchased some glass for it finally. Got some 1/4-inch glass we're going to be using for the baffles in the sump basically. And let's go ahead and get started on that. I'll show you what I'm doing for the design of it. We're also going to be integrating some acrylic into the design. This is basically going to be used for filter sock holder more or less, and you guys will see in just a little bit how I'm going to be integrating that. Basically what I'm doing here is just taking the filter sock, using it as a template with a little marker there, and I'm making the outline for the hole that I'm going to use. I wasn't sure if I should use a Dremel, a hole saw, or something else to do it. I actually tried a few different ways, but I ended up doing the hole saw, which you guys will see in just a second. Basically what I did for the hole saw, I just went out and bought one because I didn't have one. I bought the size just under what I needed so I could sand it to fit the filter sock perfectly. I took this piece of wood. You can see here my mess ups with the, I did a jigsaw or a skill saw I tried to use. Then I also tried the Dremel. They both came out, they had their issues. They were definitely not neat, not clean at all, so I decided to just use the hole saw there. So you can see I put some wood on, clamped the piece down, and then just went at it. It has a pilot bit, so it wasn't all that difficult to do. I just got to take your time because the acrylic will overheat and the saw will try to bind, so you got to kind of keep your working station set. In this video, I have not built my bench yet, or my workbench, so it's kind of a little bit difficult. It's literally a piece of wood on a cooler. So get yourself a workbench and then you'll be all good. Right here is a piece of the sump that I have. I drilled 2 holes in it. That's going to allow the water to flow through it. Basically I have the water going through the filter sock and then going into that bottom chamber so the water will flow through. The cuts didn't come out the best because I was using a really dull bit, so I'm gonna have to like sand those down so I'm not cutting on anything when I'm working at the sump in the future. This is the sump design after I did it, because you guys have seen a sump built a million times. Basically there's going to be a few chambers for the filter sock. This way I can just pull out the filter sock with ease. I don't have to move any of my plumbing around. It's right in the front. I'm going to have the protein skimmer off to the right, and I'm going to be doing a bubble trap baffle as well, which I'm going to show you guys next. Basically this filter sock design makes it to where all of the water has to go through the filter sock. None of it gets missed. Very easy to replace the filter sock in this design, and it's not in the way, or there's nothing in the way of getting to the filter sock. So here I put the last baffle in. This is the more important baffle because it's actually touching the bottom. I'm just doing some water testing. I did have some leaks in the corners of the first section there, but the second baffle is holding strong. The seams on it, as you can see, are very, very ugly. There's a miscut, so I had to fill in a pretty big gap with some silicone. So it really did not come out that pretty, but we're just gonna have to deal with that. I'm gonna try and clean it up the best I can with a razor blade. So we'll see what we need to do there just to make it look a little bit better. It did pass the water test after I filled up the corners in the first section, so everything's watertight, nothing's leaking through, so we should be good to go there. And then this next clip is just I installed the last baffle, which is just kind of floating in midair. I used a little box to hold it up and siliconed it into place. This one again, I don't know what it was with these two, but they were cut just a fraction of the inch too short, so I had to fill in a pretty large gap with some silicone. This one came out a little bit better than the other one did, but they're still not the best seams, which is kind of unfortunate because I was trying to take my time on it, but it just didn't come out the way I liked. But we're just gonna have to deal with that. So that's the basic design of my sump. I'm gonna be running a skimmer, reactor, possibly bio pellets, GFO carbon, that sort of deal. Very simple, no refugium, no anything else really. I've tried all that stuff in the past, so yeah. Here's a quick update on the truck. For some people were asking in the last video. This is kind of why I haven't been really doing much reef videos. This is my 86 K5 Blazer. We've been having some issues with it. Had to rebuild the top end, and unfortunately, like right before we blew the top end, I went out and bought some Moto Metal rims. I bought my lift kit. I bought my tires. So she's supposed to be sitting on some 35s on an 8-inch lift right now, but we're rebuilding the top end, which is almost done. We're just doing a little bit of tuning on the carburetor, and we're just getting the valves adjusted properly. But there she is, 86. We got to deal with a lot of smog laws here in California, so it's not the prettiest engine bay, but we'll make do with what we have because I don't want to do an entire engine overhaul until I buy a daily driver, which should be happening here soon. But yeah, the carburetor is just acting up. We should be getting that resolved in a few days, and then I'm going to have a lot more time and a lot more funds to be working on the Reef tank. So that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. I will be cranking out some more videos here shortly, so I will see you guys then.